podcast or a dual live tonight. How we doing? How we doing? Ariana, hello, hello. How are you? And guys, don't forget to hit the likes. Every 1,000 likes, we are going to visit Penelope as usual. But how's everybody doing today? Let's give it just a couple of minutes to get some people in here. Glad you're doing good, Ariana. Sorry I didn't go live yesterday. I just had a really bad case of the Sunday scaries because it was my first day back at work after the holidays. And it was balls to the wall. But everyone, welcome in. Welcome to the Monday episode of Red, White, and WTF. And boy, what the fuck is going on? Literally, just like, what the fuck? Because it's honestly so in our faces what's going on, but that's what makes it so unbelievable. Um, bye bye Maduro. I saw about Venezuela. Andrew, Susan, welcome in. Um, so Salazar, here's the thing. I'm not going to deny. What's up, Ryan? I see you over here on the tube they use. Um, I'm not going to say that he was a great leader. I'm not going to say any of that. I'm not. But the way we went about it was absolutely illegal. What happened was not okay. And it put our national security at risk. What's up, Ryan? And that's not okay. Plain and fucking simple. We got once we get about 15 people in here, what was illegal about it? No congressional approval or knowledge before this happened. He then kidnapped a leader of a sovereign nation. That's not legal. None of what he did is legal. I'm not saying that Maduro's a good guy. But what I'm saying is the way he went about it was wrong. Yes, he absolutely did. Because other countries are now having the same opinion that it was an act of WAR. Hello from here in San Diego. What's up, Canada? Welcome in, welcome in. And guys, we are also on the tube that use as well. What's up, YouTube guys? How we doing? How we doing? We got a few people in here. Let's get to 1,000. I'll visit Penelope. We'll get to going on something that I don't think is getting a lot of coverage because everything else is going on, but it dives it's parallel to everything. But because everything else is so loud, and of course, it's gonna hurt Americans. But we're at 1,000. Thank you so much. Let me visit Penelope real quick. So, we all know about the big, beautiful bill. And we know within that bill, they voted to pull funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Thank you so much for the follow. Now, a lot of people think the Corporation of Public Broadcasting, they just think like NPR, they think political, they think news. What they don't want us talking about is the fact that it reaches an estimated 95 to 99% of the US population through 1,500 or more local stations. Of that, about 40% serve rural communities. Those are the people that are endangered by this. Here's what I mean by that. What these radio stations do for these local channels, it's normally provide emergency alerts, weather warnings, evacuation notices, all for rural areas that may have limited or well, not no. It's very rare to find no cell phone service, but like limited internet or cell phone service. They're not going to get critical information in time. This very well, I'm not predicting the future, but this very well could lead to loss of life. Not only that, I mean, PBS Kids is the number one children's educational like viewership in the US. Studies have shown higher early literacy and math readiness, especially in low income families. I was a PBS kid. I went to fucking Head Start. We were on food stamps. I would not be where I am today without that support. Also, on top of that, let's talk about how this feeds into anti intellectualism and how that is parallel to fascism. Because Germany in the 30s, they purged teachers, professors, banned books, replaced public education with propaganda to eliminate early critical thinking skills. That's already happening here within the US. I encourage you all to look at the banned book list. It's in fucking insane. Oh, let's see. PBS always broke looking for money. It's funny you say that because all of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, their whole annual amount was about 535 million, which equates to roughly $1.60 per American per year. Yeah, exactly. So, we reached Germany. Let's travel to Spain from 39 to 75, where Franco defunded public education and censored media, framing intellectuals, journalists, and educators as threats to national unity. Then you go to Chile in the 70s, where they shut down public broadcasting and university radio, replacing them with regime friendly outlets to control the narrative and suppress dissent. Honestly, same. I would too. PBS is very important. So these are children getting education. Studies show they are more ready a lot earlier than they would have been without that help. And these are emergency alerts. People can die. Plain and fucking simple. And what a lot of people are understanding about this being shut down on top of it is because I don't think they're actually going to be shut down. What they're going to do, because as soon as that one big beautiful bill was passed, they went and they searched for all of the at risk stations. And I guarantee you, since they voted to dissolve it today, everyone, millionaires on right and left, are going to go to these stations and say, we'll fund you as long as you push our messages. This is harmful to the American people, not one side, not the other, to both. And that, my friends, is what leads us from CPB being dissolved to anti-intellectualism to fascism to a fucking track record to us approaching it, meaning we need more one, like we have to have single issue bills because a lot of what happened, that one big beautiful bill was big as fuck. It was almost 1,000 pages. People that voted for it admitted they didn't fucking read what was inside because it was so long. So they highlight 5 or 6 things that make it sound good, and then they fuck you with the other 2,000. This is not okay. And I know you guys probably wanted to talk about different things today, but out of every fucking article I read, this is the one that made my stomach drop. Because not only are our children in danger because of this, in an intellectual standpoint, but Americans' lives are in danger. Rural communities are in danger because of this. Thank you so much, guys, for the follows. Um, and it's just not okay. Nothing about that is America First. Nothing about that is pro life because these are proven to work. I come from a rural community that had limited cell phone service and limited internet growing up. We need Greenland for national security. Kick rocks, bro. We're not even going to entertain that bullshit. Unless you're being facetious. If you're being facetious, you can stay. But if you're being for real, like, come on. Thank you so much, Anne Marie. And guys, if you are new here, I'm Dana. This is Red, White, and WTF, and my political beliefs are as follows, and I don't think they're what you'll expect. I think anyone should be able to do whatever the fuck they want, as long as it does not harm or unalive anyone or anything, or impede on or take away the rights of others. I also think that food, housing, education, and healthcare should be affordable and accessible. That's it. I remember watching PBS Kids since elementary school. Same. Same. And it's why I was more prepared than I would have normally been had I not had PBS. I was always watching that shit. I was always trying to learn something. From fucking Arthur to Zaboomafoo to Sesame Street. It all teaches you very real lessons that you reflect on as an adult and you're like, oh shit. Like, I wouldn't have known that otherwise. My Monday, Ariana, my Monday was good. Very busy, but I expected it. Once my panic went down, it was okay. But we're 13 minutes in. We're already at 3K likes. There's 60 of you in here. Thank you so much. Dean, thank you for the follow. Anne Marie, thank you for the follow. Everyone that's in here. If I was on my rant, I apologize if I did not thank you, but I do thank you from the bottom of my heart because this is not right versus left, guys. We are beyond that and we need to accept that. This is the power versus the people. And right now, the power has their boot on the people's necks. I am not calling for violence. I'm calling for unity. I'm not calling for a revolution overnight. I'm calling for each of us to take personal accountability. Remember, you're supposed to have that individual responsibility that one side speaks so much of, right? And make micro changes because if we all make micro changes, it leads to macro causation. That's bullcrap. Are you Rosie O'Donnell's sister? With a name like Butch. Wow, really saying that. That's ironic. Never understood why some people are against universal health care. Because they have been sold a lie. And that lie, because it's sold to poor people. It is. I grew up poor. Let's be fucking honest. That lie is sold to poor people about this individual fiscal responsibility that we should all have. Um, pulling yourself up with your bootstraps. I was raised on that. And I believe in pulling yourself up with your bootstraps. But what if you don't have fucking boots because you can't afford them? It's And what I like about a lot of people, James Tellerico's one, Buttigieg is another, is Medicaid or Medicare for all who want it. And what that means is there will still be private options. If you have the money and you want that, go for it. But if you don't, you won't be one medical emergency away from fucking bankruptcy. No one deserves that. I believe that if you work a fucking 40-hour job, I'm not saying you should work 10 hours a week and live in a mansion and have millions of dollars. I'm saying if you work your 40 hours or 32, depending on what state you're in, your 32 to 40 hours, you should be able to live comfortably and feel safe and be financially secure. I'm not saying rich. No, I don't think you should be rich. I really like that your stream isn't left or right. Well, Cracker John, what a name. I will say a lot of people, some people get on and they say, no, you're moderate. You're moderate. And I'm like, I don't think I'm super moderate. Um, a lot of people get on like, no, you're a leftist. Like I got called Rosie O'Donnell's sister. Wow, real creative. Thank you so much for the follow, and Moira, thank you for the heart and you welcome back in. How about those that don't work? Well, let's ask ourselves, why are they not working? What's the job market like? Because it's down. What are the wages like? Because the wage disparity in this country is crazy. Because most people that need these services do fucking work. It's not them being lazy. What about disabled people? What about elderly people? Exactly. Thank you, PB. Wisha, thank you so much for the follow. Ruby, thank you for the follow. This is seriously, you're mad at the wrong people if you're like, oh, I don't want that bum because he's had an unfortunate life that you know nothing about that fucking circumstance and he's out of work. You don't know why he's out of work. You have no idea. What about the veterans in this country right now that are getting fucked over? As a female veteran, now this situation isn't going to happen to me because I do not plan on having children. Um, but I live in a state where AB is legal. Okay, state law, right? Leave it up to the states. Yet the VA can no longer provide AB services or even counseling at all. No exceptions. Grape, incest, nothing. And just so we can put this in perspective, 1 in 3 women veterans have experienced military sexual trauma. 1 in 50 men have experienced it. Now, I will say the number of men is always going to be underreported because men are told to hide that shit. They're made to feel ashamed of it. Women are as well, and women aren't likely to be believed, but I think the amount of men that experience that, the number's nowhere near accurate. AB, it's I can't. I'm gonna say it one time. Abortion. That's it. That's wrong. Should be legal with reason. Exactly. Women shouldn't be in the military. Here we fucking go. Why shouldn't women be in the military? Are you gonna say we're too emotional? Tell me one woman that started a war in modern day history. Oh, that's right. You can't because it's all been men. Thank you guys for the follows. And I'm not saying all men are bad people, but I'm saying you can't fight with those numbers. My rights should not be dependent on my location. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. It's so fucking wild, man. I just like people get on here and we're having a good, sensible conversation, and then you just get that shit in there. Why should billionaires give taxpayers money? Because our taxpayer dollars are giving them federal fucking tax breaks so they don't pay federal taxes. Just close your legs. Can you, Ryan, if you're still in here, can you mod, please? What a fucking fucked up thing to say. My name is Mud. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, if women want to serve, they should be able to. And we are. And we do. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. People like you don't care about unborn babies. You know what? In this instance, because I will say, when it's elective, once sentience and viability are sustainable, I'm more cautious. However, if it's not a viable fetus, because it's a clump of cells and it's technically a parasite at that point, because it cannot live without the life source, um, it changes a bit. And this is in forms of grape and incest and medical emergency. So, do I value a mother's life over a clump of cells that cannot survive without that mother? I'm going to go for the mother every time. When is it viable? Different places say different things, but it's anywhere between 20 and 23 weeks. I worked at a trauma one center with a level 3 NICU. I used to be a respiratory therapist. We accepted 23 weeks bare minimum. Like we could not accept anything before that. Men and women serve here too, guys. That's the thing. But someone in the chat had said women shouldn't be able to serve in the military. And it's kind of like, what a crazy thing to say. They say that they're mad because we want equality, right? And then we try to do equal jobs and they're like, you shouldn't be able to do that. Like, what the fuck? BS. A newborn is still dependent on its mother, not for vital organ function. For food sustainability, yes, absolutely. But until then, no. I think once you can tell if it's a boy or a girl, it's viable. That's not the truth because vital organs still haven't been developed. That's like the people that still think that a heartbeat, like a real, like your heart is formed at 6 weeks. That's an electrical impulse. Everything going on in our body, including our heartbeats, is an electrical impulse. And you can have that, you can still read that electrical impulse when someone's already passed away. Your head is so big and round, yet empty. Crazy. Okay. And I said 23 weeks is viability. I said anywhere from 20 to 23 weeks. It's not 15. That's false. At 12 weeks, and trust my. Exactly. Exactly, Kai. That's the thing. I don't think anyone's, I'm sorry, but I don't, if you want to be, is a parasite until it takes its first breath. Absolutely it is. And here's the thing, if you want to be religious, that is your personal choice. And I respect that. But you shouldn't regulate everyone's body based on your personal religious belief. And I think that's a fair thing to say because what if I decided that I wanted to worship a religion that you didn't agree with, but then my religion was trying to make laws on your body? You wouldn't like that, right? Exactly. You pray all you want. I grew up in a Southern Baptist church, raised conservative. That's totally fine. But the beauty of the First Amendment right is that you have freedom to assemble, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to lobby as well. So shut up, don't talk shit. Just close your legs and have some morals. You're right, I wasn't a nurse because I never claimed to be a nurse. I'm actually a respiratory care practitioner um, with 2 licenses, a state and a national accreditation. And if you don't believe me, uh, we don't need both. Fuck. God damn it, it's too big. There you go, asshole. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. I guess it wanted you to see my other degree as well. Like, bro. BFD, sir. I'm getting called a sir because my hair's literally in a clip. Because a haircut definitely determines. You know what's so fucking funny? You're all about identity, yet you're misgendering me and you're fine with that. But if I ask you to respect my pronouns, then I'm in the wrong. What the fuck is that? Ass fucking backwards is what that is. Guys, once we get to 7K, I'm going to visit Penelope again. We're having some good conversation. I'm going to stay on till the top of the hour. If there's anything in specific you guys want to talk about, let me know. We'll go over to ground news right now because it's has all sources. Um, and no, I'm not sponsored by ground news. I just actually use that shit and I think it's beneficial. Because you can see articles from center, left, right, factuality. who owns the company, things like that. What? Weird. All right. About Venezuela. What would you like to talk about Venezuela? Because that's, well, it's a reliable source because it's includes all sources and factualities. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Oh wow, hold on. I'm trying to use one that's kind of like baseline. Um, well, this is a court ruling, so there's no like fighting the political standpoint of this in this way, but court upholds injunction against NIH funding cuts, um, the National Institutes of Health. So I clicked on that, right? And when I click on that on false news, sorry, I'm reading false claims, sorry. Um, so I read that. This is by Reuters, so you can do all articles. So Reuters, then Gene Online. We've had a few, but uh Dev Discourse is the one I just read from. I read from them because they have a very high factuality and they're a center, more middle of the line, right? Um and their summary is the court upholds injunction against NIH funding cuts. A federal appeals court on Monday dealt a blow to the Trump admin efforts to significantly reduce federal grant funding from the National Institutes of Health, which supports universities engage in scientific and medical research. What were we just talking about? How certain people want the rise of anti-intellectualism because it very closely mirrors and enables fascism. Can't make this shit up. I literally went for a middle of the fucking line article and it loops in, and that's how fucking obvious it is in our faces. We are literally right now in a similar situation as Iraq. Now, I was in third grade when all of this was happening the first time. I'm 32 years old now. I'm not going to fall for the same shit because I was a child last time, a literal child. So, millennials, if you're fucking confused by this, just look up side by side comparisons. It's honestly quite fucking eerie. But you guys said you want to talk about Venezuela. So, what particularly about it? I'll look at the comments again. You need to clean your ceiling fans and baseboards. Well, I don't have a ceiling fan and I clean my baseboards, but I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Like, what the fuck? Are celebrating while Democrats leftists are crying. This is just perfect. Actually, the footage you saw from Venezuela, check the date on it because it's actually from 2024. The ones you saw celebrating in Miami support MAGA. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying Maduro was a good guy. He is a proven authoritarian with a history of abuse with his people. But the way it happened is the problem. Constant profanity means liberal can't carry a conversation without it. Actually, Eric, there are studies that the more you use profanity, especially profanity with purpose, which is what I use, profanity with purpose actually has been correlated to a higher IQ. So there you go. Try that again. Like, and if someone saying a curse word ruins a whole argument for you, that's kind of wild. That's really fucking wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's the same people in here telling me to close my legs. So, does it surprise me? Not really. You say a lot, but haven't learned one thing. What haven't I learned? I have given you studies, sources, backups, things for you guys to look up, shown degrees. Hmm. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But guys, we are about to be at 10K. I owe you quite a long visit with Penelope. I do apologize. So once we get to 10K, we'll do a good 5 seconds with her. And then we'll get right back into it. And as I'm with Penelope, please, please, please put what you want to talk about next in the comments. They'll tell you that, oh yeah, oh absolutely. All they know is how to insult women. It's ridiculous, literally. 10K. All right, all right, all right. Son of a bitch. 1 second, guys. Got it. We're in the process, guys. We're in the process. Thank you for the reminder. And thanks for hanging out tonight. If you haven't hit follow yet, please do. Um, I will let you know. Tomorrow I'm going live. I told you guys when I went back to work this week, we're opening a new facility. So Wednesday I will not be going live. I got to do 2 locations and overtime, and it's just a lot. But Thursday we'll be back. Janine Clark, what's up? Welcome in. No, yeah, literally, Ryan. It's like they say they're like pro-life, they're for the children, and I'm like, listen, lives are in danger with this funding cut. This is why we need single bill issues. Children are going to fall into an anti-intellectual cycle that is part of all the fucked up things going on. And right now, if our public broadcasting is cut, that means millionaires from both sides with extreme political beliefs on both sides are going to target those rural stations, say, if you want to stay open and you want to keep your residents alive, we'll give you this money as long as you spread our message. How stupid can everyone be tonight? It's been that kind of day, Ariana. It's been that kind of day. Hold on a second. Give me one second. Travisi, am I missing something? Jolena, hello. Oh, the excessive, unreasonable belief of one's own group. Oh, yeah. Honestly, though, I opinions is that it's happening in the fucking chat, dude. Like, it's happening in the chat. Nice to see you, Jolena. They're allowing us to be controlled. Yeah, and they're doing that by starting anti-intellectualism at such a young age because they never develop those critical thinking skills. Because kids that young, it's like, oh my God, I wish my parents would know a second language so they could have taught me a second language or got an instrument in my hands sooner because their brains are like a sponge. It's so much easier. And now you try to learn a language when you're, my age 32, and it's so fucking hard. Oh, yeah, absolutely. They absolutely are. Some of these comments, guys, just for guideline reasons, I can't speak out. But yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I still think it's fucking crazy. Mike Johnson literally said God came to him in the middle of the night and said he was Moses. He was also caught to have a grinder profile. Those two things, according to your special book, don't go together. He also did one of those weird purity weddings with his daughter where she like grants him her V card metaphorically and then he can allow the husband to get it. It's like, what the fuck? But no, this is just happening. Basically, Venezuelan socialism. Wait, hold on. What? It is. I think I missed something in the comments. Yeah, no, I swear. Oh, okay. I was like, hold on, what? Wait, what are you referring to? Because it gave me some. I thought you were mean like. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Oh my God, thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Um, but yeah, no, it's just. I told you guys, the situation I was in on New Year's Eve where I watched that girl almost be date raped. And the amount of denial from men when they had multiple women saying the same thing was insane. And no, I'm not attacking all men, but there are certain stereotypes of men that think women are vessels. And it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. All right. We're still doing okay on the tube that use. Um, at 15, I'll visit Penelope. All right, let's go back to ground news because let's just get to talking. I did see that I don't think anything is certain yet, but Diaper Don was floating the idea of having Stephen Miller oversee Venezuela. So they removed a dictator to have someone who literally quotes and worships dictators run the country. And I'm one. I don't even trust my own dad or my grandfather. Holy shit. That's such a powerful fucking statement. Like, and that's everything we need to know about today's society. Like, I just saw, apparently, there's some shit going on in London right now. I just saw this girl who literally, like, a man just came up and, like, punched her in the face on a walk home. What are you talking about? I have never, not one time, said that Nicolas Maduro was a good man, person, or leader. I said he's an authoritarian. What I said was that the way it happened and went down is not okay. And I don't think you can really argue with that. There was no congressional approval because for Congress to be in session, that would mean the House would have to be in session, which means Mike Moses Grinder Johnson would actually have to get off his ass and do his job, but he won't. Why? Because the second, thank you, Allie, for the follow. The second they go back into session, Pam Bondi will face contempt proceedings regarding the EP files because we were owed December, what was it, December 19th, 100%. We've gotten maybe 5%. Dude, it's honestly, is it Terrell, or how do I pronounce your name just so I, respect you. We respect names, pronouns here. Um I mean, what I'm not saying what's happening or what has been happening in Venezuela is okay. I'm saying the way our country went about it is not. Because now other countries, surrounding countries, by the way, hmm, including Russia, including Russia, said that what we did can be considered an act of WAR. If we had the chance to have taken, would we have done it? I think we should have done it. Do I think we would have done it? I don't know. Women are beautiful creatures and badass and should be treated like the badasses they are, period. There you go. Absolutely. China, Iran, Mexico. Has Canada said anything on it yet? Because, I mean, they did just recently say before this happened, this was around like the 20, it was either right before Christmas or right after, one of their top generals said that they are preparing for near peer conflict. This does not mean they're going to go on the attack or anything. They're just saying they're making sure their country is prepared to defend itself with an equal power. If US can remove, exactly, exactly, exactly. That fucking part. Was it 500,000 or 300,000? But yeah, no, they're like, and same thing with Iran. Iran's president using that language, um, I think was dangerous for their country specifically because if you didn't know, he said basically like what Europe, Israel, and the U.S. the situations they're putting them in with attacks, sanctions, things like that. It feels like they're already in a war. But the reason that language is dangerous because it's escalation, and this we've already seen it since he said it that Trump said he will attack. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you want to know his reasoning for what would have to take place for him to strike Iran? If they harm protesters. Isn't that fucking ironic? And it doesn't matter what side you're on. When you hear that, like you can't not start to question things. Maybe. Well, so no, I would just rather like Putin and Bibi not be a part of any of this shit personally. Shit, I don't know. But the thing is, I know it looks that way and we're like, "Oh, I wish this would happen to him." Vance is going to be even worse. Vance is going to be even worse. Oh, we are at 16. Holy cow. I'm so sorry. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that that's what's happening to the citizens in Iran is okay. I'm not saying that. But I am saying he is willing to defend them, but then questions whether he can pew pew American protesters in the knees. I think he won't lose them at first. He'll eventually lose them, but I'm just scared of the damage that would happen if they do lose him. Because here's the thing, if our country gets that fucked and we're down a president and a VP, they're not going to get Mike Moses Johnson in there. They're going to put someone like Stephen Miller in there. You guys, in the I just, first of all, you can't use those words in the chat. Please respect guidelines. Second of all, he asked if you could pew pew us in the knees. You do realize you can be unalived from that. Like, what the fuck? Russell Vought worries me a lot too, but I will say there is a spicy rumor, and I'm gonna keep the rumor going because the rumor is probably not true, but it makes me laugh in my head that Caroline Levitt's baby isn't her grandfather husband's, but it's Russell Vaught's. Dude, Yarvin, not enough people talk about Yarvin. They won't follow. I think more people are going to follow Miller. I think more people are going to follow Miller than Vance. I know it seems fucking crazy, but that dude, I mean, he literally started getting notoriety because he was a fucking douchebag and said that he shouldn't have to throw his trash away at his Santa Monica High School, by the way. Yeah, he's from California. His Santa Monica High School because janitors are paid to do that for him. And I don't mean like, oh, we're doing campus cleanup. I mean like he didn't want to fucking take away his food to the fucking trash can. He is that fucking lazy. You like Miller? What the fuck? He literally quotes dictators. All the men, all the MAGA men, unfortunately, in. Oh, that makes me happy though that they call him that. That makes me happy. But you know who's even fucking scarier than him is his wife. Is his wife. Dude, she has the same mannerisms, but it just looks that much more chaotic. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Like that lady scares me. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. You can't fix stupid. You can knock it unconscious. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, so you think a Californian is America, huh? Someone that went to school in Santa Monica. Rich. Wanted to be lazy. That's sure. There you go. Oh, give me backstories. Give me backstories because I thought Erica's backstories were crazy, but we'll always learn something because she always goes at Jennifer Welch of the I've Had It podcast, and I love every time Jennifer Welch has taken her ass down verbally. Verbally. But guys, we're at 20K. We're going to do this one more time. We got about 18 minutes left in here. Hit that follow button if you haven't already. But yeah, put the T in there. TDS so bad. Everything I just told you about Stephen Miller is true. I say that as someone currently living in California. I agree. And the thing is that ring, both sides, both fucking sides. That is the point, guys. It's not right versus left. It is the power versus the people. And the power have their fucking neck, their boot on the neck of the people. You've already said that, and then you didn't reply, so we're just gonna block. That's just, like, if you're gonna keep both sides in our biggest ally, right? It's like, no. It honestly, like, it's hard to hold two truths at once that I can't believe this is happening because, like, internally I can't, but logically I can. Like, it makes perfect fucking sense. And it's just, the truth is right there. We literally had a pipeline, a very short pipeline, from how the one big beautiful bill led us through Corporation Public Broadcasting being defunded, meaning people could lose their lives because they don't get emergency alerts quick enough. Children, especially low income families with children, because of PBS, they have significantly higher early literacy and math skills. Then that goes down to how anti intellectualism goes right along with fascism. Why? Because in the 30s, they purged teachers and professors, they banned books, they replaced public education with propaganda to eliminate early critical thinking skills. Then in Spain, from 39 to 75, Franco defunded public education and censored media, framing intellectuals, journalists, and educators as threats to national unity. In Chile, in the 70s, they shut down public broadcasting and university radio, replacing them with regime friendly outlets to control the narrative and suppress dissent, which is why I pointed out that what they're going to do, and it's going to happen on both sides, guys, the rich and powerful on both sides, once that one big, beautiful bill passed, they found those rural stations that could possibly close because anywhere between 10 to 25% of their budget comes from that. You lose that, you don't operate anymore. So they're going to say, hey, we're going to keep you open and operating. Here's the message you got to say. Do you want to save your people? Say what we tell you. It's going to happen on both sides. And that is why, because of the one big beautiful bill, prime example of why we need single issue fucking bills. Thank you so much for the rose here, what, and welcome back. That's Does that not scare you how easily it all fits together? Like, that's not conspiracy, that's fact with historical examples. JP, are you okay? Why are you acting funny? Come on. You want to come on camera? Everyone, this is JP. Be nice. All right, YouTube first. All right, look over here. Say hi. Say hi. Like, but it's just such a terrifying, like, realization. Like, I'll literally start, like, mapping out a script for my posts and seeing it on paper, which is why I've been writing more. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. They think you're the cutest. They think you're the cutest in the world. You cutest boy. Um, I'll literally just be doing a script and I write it down and I'm like, wait, but how does that affect this, this, and this? And it's like, it's right fucking in front of us. And it feels disheartening at times, but we are in 2026. So they're not going to steal our joy or our happiness. So if you don't mind, all 37 of you in here, put one happy or joyful or positive thing that happened in your day. While you do that, I am going to go first. Um, Give me a second. Oh, I got a lot of props for the work I did over the holidays to kind of set up our team for success going into the new year. Because this is my last year with my company, as long as the docu-series goes well. And I'm kind of like making my love letter to them and just trying to leave it better than I found it. Because I really do truly love the people I work with. Um, and so, yeah, it was nice to be thanked for that. Excuse me, 5 days. Oh yeah, 5 days into 2026. You rescued a new kitten. That's awesome. My friends just got a kitten for Christmas. His name's Smudge. I'm not really a cat person. I'm learning. I'm learning. Like, Smudge is really cute. I learned that I'm gonna have a new baby grand cousin. Ooh, congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. So it was nice. It was nice. Yeah, it is a cute name. He's got, like, you know what I mean when I say Lisa Frank eyes, like those really big bright eyes. He's got really bright green eyes, and that's like all you see because he's pitch black. And my friends have like everything black at their apartment. I think they're even getting a black cat tree. But yeah, you painted a very cool rock today, and my migraine was light. I have headache every day for 20 years. Crane, as someone who's had multiple TBIs, I suffer from migraines. Not every day, thankfully, but I am so glad that it was light because I know those days can be especially fucking heavy. It is not fun. Like, there, my hell would have to be to have to live forever and have a migraine every day, I think, truthfully. Like, that just is terrible. But I'm glad it was an easier day for you. Guys, thank you so much for participating in that because we very much need to keep a grasp on our whimsy just as much as our political rage because we should be pissed at the whole fucking government. And again, I'm not calling for a massive overnight revolution. I'm calling for something a little bit more simple. Micro changes. Micro changes from all of us lead to macro causation and change for the better. I think we need to start small. Invest in your community. Go get a library card and use it. Go to your town halls if you can. Participate in local elections because these assholes all started somewhere. Volunteer. Go donate something. It's about to be time for spring cleaning. Marie Kondo your shit. Give back a little bit. You're going to inspire other people to do it. It's like when, someone pays for your coffee order and then you keep it going. Maybe you call me woo woo, but I do believe that good energy breeds good energy. They're supposed to be working for us. Absolutely they are. Work at elections, keep an eye on the bad guys. Yes, and stay accountable and hold others accountable. It's okay to be corrected sometimes. I've been corrected sometimes. I was raised a Southern Baptist conservative Republican. And then I shifted to very liberal. And now I'm just like, I guess a socialist or a populist rather, because here are my political beliefs. If you haven't heard them since being on here, I think that anyone should be able to do whatever the fuck they want, as long as it does not harm or unalive anyone or anything, or impede on or take away the rights of others. I also think that healthcare, housing, education, and food should be affordable and accessible. I believe in term limits for all, no more lifelong appointments. Speaking of appointments, we need to limit the number of presidential appointments after an election for both sides because it's far too many. Uh, Supreme Court, no, primary. We need to vote them in. If they're going to vote for us and be the court of the land with no oversight, the people need to elect them, not elected officials. Especially elected officials with pending fucking lawsuits that they keep appealing to get it to the Supreme Court. But I digress. I don't think that if we work hard, we should have to, be a medical emergency away from a fucking bankruptcy. I think that's crazy. And notice, none of what I said is I think we should have open borders. None of what I said is we should have to work fewer hours and be rich and live in mansions. No. I just think we should be treated like fucking humans. I think our government should be transparent, work for us, and be limited. Notice there was no violence in that. It was about unity, unity of the people. It's like the Bug's Life, right? And we just hit 25,000. I'm about to hit Penelope. Visit Penelope. Um, it's like a Bug's Life. Once the ants knew there were more of them and could overpower the grasshoppers cooked. Cooked. It's called the Constitution, yes, but that's under the assumption that one would follow the Constitution, which we have been proven is not the case right now. Socialist and limited government is a contradiction. No. I mean limited in terms of like term limits. I don't think our government should be able, while they're serving, to participate in the stock market or cryptocurrency because they're the ones influencing the laws which drive market trends. I don't mean the amount of government or the involvement. I mean a limit. Career politicians should not exist. Funded lobbying on both sides on all businesses need to go. Obviously, lobbying itself is protected by the First Amendment, but the funding's got to go. There should be campaign caps from business and individual. Why the fuck are they spending millions of dollars? I can reach thousands of people just with 30,000 followers in a night for free. And if we can have a conversation and you can judge me whether you think I'm genuine or not, why are they doing all that shit? Like it's and so much shit goes on during election season, like from like bills and policies changing, and that's on purpose. But yeah. And when I say socialist, guys, a lot of people confuse socialism and communism. The thing about socialism, you still have a free market. It's just where your tax dollars actually go back into programs that assist you and not tax cuts to fucking billionaires. I can't believe someone in the chat literally said, how are you going to ask billionaires or tax billionaires to pay you? Like, what? It's crazy. What do you guys think about Tim Wall's says he's not going back for a third term for Minnesota governor. Like on a political standpoint, it makes me a little sad. Um, but on a personal one, low key, I get it. Well, see, here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, he got more than bullied. He's gotten threats. And speaking of, did you guys hear in Arizona they had to evacuate the Supreme Court um, due to allegedly finding BOMB residue or explosive residue on something. I'm sad for the state. I think he got bullied out. Yeah. And his kids too. His kids take that. His wife takes that to take childcare. It was a setup. It absolutely was. Absolutely was. We know that. But like, dude's experienced a lot, and he seems. I'm not gonna say I agree with absolutely everything that he does because I don't think that's healthy to agree with every single thing with a person. Um, but I think he seems like a really good guy with a really great heart. Um, and he could have been a great leader, was a great leader to a lot of people. The guy started the BS and chaos from this administration. Yeah. I mean, maybe, you know what? He'll step down and then maybe he'll run for something else. Who knows? I hope he's not stepping out of politics, but maybe he needs a break. They didn't look at corporate daycare who had violations. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. So here's the thing. Everything that's going on right now with the daycares, this is old news that they're resurfacing. And a lot of people, the reason it's resurfacing, there was this fucking right wing content creator, Nick Shirey, something like that, tried to get into a daycare to see if there were actually children there. Now the thing with this is you don't have a child in that daycare. Why the fuck would anyone let you in with a camera at that? Like, what? Now, I'm not saying here nor there. Not my business. Haven't looked enough into the situation. But I had watched the video and it's just like, bro, they would have never let you in there regardless. Yes, but it's because of shit like this. Like if you worked at a preschool, right? Or a daycare of some type. Small children are inside. You're working the front desk, and a stranger that doesn't have any children there with someone with a camera wants access to your daycare. You do. Oh my God. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Hey guys, oh shit, we only got 3 more minutes on here. Let's get to 30,000. I'm not saying, first of all, I do want to let you know, I'm not saying the Biden administration was perfect because I don't agree with a lot of what they did. What about public records of money going to Somalia, then back to his campaign? That's what I was looking up. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, 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 yes. Exactly, exactly. It was Lauren. That's a great point. Suspicion or not, from a safety standpoint and just a logical mindset, he would have never been allowed back there, but they're trying to weaponize this. And like Lauren said, if they would have let him back, whether there's kids there or not, then there would have been an uproar that they let a stranger with a camera back there. Like, I don't fucking understand. Man. But yeah, no, I don't agree. Oh shit. You're right. You're right. My bad. My bad. That was quick. All right. hit follow and share. That's right. Everybody hit follow if you haven't already. We're going to go till 35,000. And then we're going to get off. So we'll stay on a little bit longer. Thank you so much, Lee, for the follow. And thank you guys for the great conversation tonight. Trolls and all. It's led to great conversation. And I hope the way I explain things forms not not a timeline, but a tunnel um, of how all of this is looping together. And so I hope, thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for the boxing gloves. Um, and the tunnel, it's not always going to look exactly like the tunnel next to it, but it's going to be similar and do the same thing. So when you start to research things, I hope points that I'm pointing out kind of stick, and then you start questioning those things too, because you may start to teach me things. I learn stuff on here all the time. Thank you so much, Kim. I appreciate it. No, I'm not okay with stealing tax dollars, but who else is stealing tax dollars? Oh, I don't know. Billionaires? Like, you're putting blame on, not even you're putting blame on the wrong people. You are completely forgetting that two things can be true at once. No, I'm saying that I don't agree with the I don't agree with the way our tax dollars are spent legally. You think I want my tax dollars going to fund a genocide? Because I fucking don't. But it's happening. There you go. Great counter argument. I've said on this live, actually, this past week, I've said it a lot on the whole no tax on overtime. I said, you can still tax my overtime if you can tell me where that overtime tax is going. Exactly. Exactly. That part. Guys, we are almost at 35,000, which means we are almost done for the night. Again, I will be on tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, just like tonight. Wednesday, we're going to take a break, but it's just, I've got a lot going on. At my full-time job that I do work, I do not make a living off of TikTok. Um, Not yet, if ever. I don't know. Changes are coming soon, so we'll fucking see. Why do we need to check for fraud? What does it prove? Not everyone is fraud. Exactly. Exactly. And guys, we are almost at 35. Almost, almost. Boom. Got it. Perfect. Give me 1 second. Everyone, thank you so much for the gifts, the follows, the comments, general conversation, and just being here. Good energy. I hope you all have a wonderful night and a great week. You too, go go. I will be back here same time tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. And remember, don't let them steal your joy. Look for one happy thing a day. And if you do that, the next day look for two. Bye, guys. Love you all. All right, YouTube, that means it is up for you as well. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Or if you watch this later, Ryan, as always, I'm going to give you a shout out because you always make sure someone's on here. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.